funny thing happened to Iron Man 3 on the way to Beijing. The Chinese version of the Hollywood blockbuster features several minutes of China-centric material not seen elsewhere, including scenes with Chinese heartthrob Fan Bingbing and film star Wang Shite. Critics and state-run Chinese media complained that the extra footage seemed irrelevant to the film's narrative, but Chinese audiences don't seem to mind. They've already snapped up over $100 million worth of tickets. The episode illustrates one of Hollywood's new maxims, says Chinese film expert Stanley Rosen.
Sucking up to China is standard procedure.
The world's most populous country is now the second largest film market on Earth, after the U.S. and Canada. That's a lot of popcorn, says Motion Picture Association Chairman Christopher Dodd.
The number of theaters are growing at a warp speed. 10 screens a day are being built in China.
But China exercises stringent cinema censorship. Criticism of the government or the Communist Party are obviously forbidden. Tibet, Taiwan, the Dalai Lama, or the Tiananmen Square massacre of 1989? Forget about it. Dodd says the censorship is understandable.
I recognize that nation-states have the right to decide what content they want to allow into their countries.
Hollywood studios often self-censor their films to make them acceptable in China, and that's led to some comical episodes. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's 2012 remake of the Reagan-era patriotic action flick Red Dawn originally featured brave American teens fighting off brutal Chinese invaders. Whoops.
Somebody pointed out to the filmmakers that, hey, the China market's the fastest growing market, and they love films like this, perhaps. So they spent millions of dollars digitizing changes so that the bad guys became the North Koreans instead of the Chinese.
Last year's Quentin Tarantino film, Django Unchained, was yanked from Chinese theaters just hours after its premiere. A toned-down, less gory, and de-sexified version was released recently in a limited number of theaters. China's government wants to develop its own film industry and use entertainment to advance a political agenda, Rosen says.
The Chinese aspiration is to succeed internationally and to do, you might say, publicity or propaganda to build China's soft power.
With its gaze firmly fixed on China's profit potential, social criticism and artistic freedom are being left on Hollywood's cutting room floor. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Los Angeles.